see no right here. I don't see no right here. I don't see no right here. I don't see no right
here. We're out here this Saturday because Dijon Kizzee was murdered by these South LA sheriffs. Only stopped for a biking violation, something so simple that didn't require any guns, any kinds of weapons, but this officer used lethal force and shot him over a dozen times.
The community has been upset, the community has been hurt, furious, and so today is a day of celebration, a day of jubilee, a day to speak out and let the sheriffs know that we're not happy and we're not going away. We're not content with what happened until we get murder charges for both officers that brutally murdered him. Right here where we stand, we're tired of Black individuals being hunted by the police, and this is the way we stand out.
So it's nothing short of murder charges, and we want Sheriff Villanueva's resignation. And he's like, his department of road sheriffs have assaulted so many people, they all need to be put under jail. Like, we've been having this fight with the sheriffs for Andres Guardado in recent weeks, and we still been keeping it lit for Anthony Weber. So, you know, this is just nothing but another piece of a continuum of sheriff, brutality against the people in the community.
Sheriff Alex Villanueva has ran a murderous department for a very long time, and it's time that he stepped down and resigned, but we need justice for the family of Dijon Kizzee. We need to make sure that everyone who is responsible is prosecuted to the full extent of the law.
So it's a mix of emotions, but for the most part, I'm happy that people came out and showed out, and we were able to once again heal the hearts of the community through verbally expressing ourselves. Black, brown, white, we all showed up today, and we did it right.
We have to come together. Like all these different groups came together. This is beautiful. We have to stop being in competition and let's get together and do it together. Because at the end of the day, they don't want to see us together. When we come together, we're stronger.
In East LA, we got the same animal, the sheriff, on the back of our necks. Paul Rea, Anthony Vargas, shot him in the back. Anthony Vargas. They came up, said there was a robbery at the local 7-Eleven by the project. They came up on him, shot him in the back, shot him in the head, and they said, oh, we had the wrong guy. The wrong suspect. I'm sorry. Bullshit, you're sorry.
He was murdered April 11, 2018 in the city of Gardena. He was shot in his back with an AR-15 military assault weapon. What was my son doing? Nothing but mind his fucking business. Right. And guess what? They murdered him, shot him in cold blood, and had the audacity to fucking handcuff him when he was already dead. AJ is smiling down on us right now. He would love this. He was all about bringing people together. But he was 16 years old, unarmed, shot 16 times. I was born and raised in this community, so I don't care what the sheriff says or who he trots up there and say you're not welcome. You're 100% welcome.
Y'all can't stop this community from speaking up for themselves. So we just came to obliterate all these narratives that are being put out by the sheriffs and Trump agents. Black man by the name of Joe Collins has his campaign manager lie and say he's cousins with Dijon Kizzee in order to try to quell the dissent and try to tell people, hey, I'm speaking for the family, y'all not welcome here. So we had to fight through all of that and get in and like get into the community and get with, and flip the narrative and find out who is this person, because this guy was coming to crash press conferences where my daughter is speaking because she was tear gassed by the sheriffs while standing up for Dijon Kizzee at a very peaceful demonstration in front of the sheriff's station. We didn't see Joe Collins out here today. We didn't see Robert Foster out here today. They real tough with 7-year-old girls and mothers, but you're not tough in this community because you don't belong in this community and you don't represent this community.
The truth is, we know the biggest gang in every city is always the police department, but now the truth has come out that there are actual literal gangs within these police departments. A full investigation needs to be done by the community, not by the sheriffs themselves, not by the police officers themselves, but by the people, reviewing and exterminating these gangs from these police departments and defunding these police.
The systemic racism is rooted deep. It's rooted deep even into our Constitution. The black codes, the slave codes, if we take it all the way back then to the black codes and the slave codes, they were entrenched into our Constitution. And our Constitution was built on that, and so we go around believing it and saying these things, and it's absolutely contrary to what we're seeing. Why is Donald Trump urging the police to come at us with such aggression and so much force? There was a Nazi protest, and they did everything in their power to make sure that they handled them correctly. But as soon as we have a protest about killing one of ours, you call the National Guard on us. if you show up, you're gonna go to jail. If you show up, we're gonna arrest you. And that's the same thing that was back then. If you left the master's house without permission, he gonna whoop you and bring you back.
The only way to get justice for Dijon Kizzee is to actually have a system that holds these murderers accountable, that actually puts them in a position where they can no longer enact murder. One thing is we actually see these capitalist politicians, both the Democratic and Republican parties, demanding more funds for the police. We have both Joe Biden and Trump saying that we need more funds for the police, we need more funds for the FBI, the sheriffs. Everybody deserves funds except the basic social services and the people of this country. You know, overall, we're dealing with a system that has consistently put black, brown, youth, you know, people all the way at the bottom. We stand with the call from Black Lives Matter to defund the police. We don't believe that this kind of armed gang of people driving around and patrolling and murdering as they wish is the way to protect us.